In this next set of videos, I examine 11 pro-choice claims and offer a response to each one. Now, this series is not about crafting clever arguments to help you win debates. My goal is to help pro-life Christians engage their friends and family in compassionate dialogue that supports mothers and protects the sacred worth of every human person. So first, let me go over the 11 pro-choice claims that I'll be covering in this next set of videos. Claim number 1, the Bible is silent on abortion. Claim number 2, abortion is a woman's healthcare issue. Claim number 3, abortion is a woman's equality issue. Claim number 4, my body, my choice. Claim number 5, abortion is economic justice. Claim number 6, abortion is racial justice. Claim number 7, abortion of the unfit is good for society. Claim number 8, you can't legalize morality. Claim number 9, we need exceptions for rape and incest. Claim number 10, we need exceptions for the woman's health. And finally, claim number 11, pro-lifers are inconsistent. So given these 11 claims, let me also point out that there are really 4 different meanings of the word abortion that are often used together, that really need to be understood as separate things. First, we have spontaneous abortions, commonly called miscarriages. And these are due to either failed implantations, which actually happens 30 to 50% of the time, or complications during fetal development, which also occur about 30% of the time. Second, we have therapeutic abortions, which are performed to preserve the mother's life. Third, we have eugenic abortions, which are performed to remove those who are deemed unfit by the culture. And this is an example of children who might be born with Down syndrome, who are aborted simply because they will have health difficulties. And fourth and finally, we have elective abortions, which are perhaps 93+% of abortions in the United States. And these are used to protect the mother's health and economic lifestyle. Now, given these 11 claims and these 4 different definitions of abortion, I think there's at least 3 things we need to look at that give us an umbrella or a framework to examine all of these different issues. And the first is, what is the meaning of life? Well, Stephen Schwartz has actually put together a pretty good list of, from a Christian worldview, what would be non-essential factors in determining the meaning of life. He calls them SLED. That is the size of the fetus, the level of development of the fetus, the environment and the conditions that the fetus will be born into, and the degree of dependency that the fetus has on the mother. So these are all 4 key critical issues that play a part in evaluating all 11 claims that we'll look at. But if these are non-essential factors, I think it's also important that we understand from a Christian worldview what is the essential truth for knowing the meaning of life. And I think we can find this in Psalms 139. It says this, "For you formed me in my inmost parts, you knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, my soul knows it very well." And this simple verse amplifies a strong biblical truth that all human persons, everyone from the moment of conception, is made in the image of God and has sacred worth and sacred value that cannot be undermined by non-essential factors. And I think this will play out as we look at the specific claims and we kind of show what the counter response is to each of those claims throughout these series. The second thing I want to look at is the beauty of pregnancy. Now, this is a perspective that I think is largely missing in the discussions we have as pro-life Christians with people who are pro-choice. So what do I mean by the beauty of pregnancy? Well, first, this idea that God designed the woman's body to bear children. This is a beautiful thing. This is not something that is an accident of evolution or a byproduct of some horrible process in nature. This is a design of God, and this is something glorious and wonderful or beautiful. And that is the perspective we as Christians bring to this discussion. Second, studies rarely focus on the health benefits of pregnancy. We see a lot of work done showing how pregnancy can be harmful, or you see a lot of claims that are made that pregnancy is so horrible for women. But a lot of times that worldview limits real good studies on what are the health benefits of pregnancy. And so I think that's something that we need to examine as Christians, are what are some of those health benefits, and promote those as well. Third, women have the power to create and nurture life. This is a glorious part about pregnancy. Only women, not men, can do this. Only women are given this power by God to create a life inside their body and nurture this life to become this full and flourishing human being. So, man, this is a glorious, beautiful thing that we need to remember as a core part of our discussion. And finally, I think we should always remember that God's call to motherhood is a call to greatness. Being a mom is a great thing. Being a mom is a high calling that supersedes any other earthly career or thing we can do in life. So to keep these 4 things in perspective is really important as we go through and examine each of these 11 claims. Finally, we have to look at the call to love and keep that at the forefront of all of our discussions. As Christians, we should never forget that our mission is to contend for truth, but do it with compassion. It's also important to remember that our goal is not to win an argument or to have victory in a debate. There's nothing wrong with argument. I don't think that's a bad word, but it does have a lot of negative connotations. And I think it's important that we remember that we're not going out trying to pursue these conflicts between our words and somebody else's words or between people. That is not our purpose in examining these 11 claims. Our goal is to support mothers and to protect the sacred worth of every human life. That's the only reason that we engage in these discussions and these dialogues related to the topic of abortion. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll check out all the videos in this series, and I pray that the Holy Spirit inspires you to engage in a compassionate pro-life dialogue with friends and family.